The richest person in your life? You probably think they're broke. They drive a used car, they pack their lunch, they don't post vacations, they wear the same jacket. They never talk about money. And yet, they are quietly building wealth, while everyone around them performs it. Today, I'm going to show you 10 signs that someone is genuinely wealthy, even though they look completely broke. And I promise you, at least one person in your life fits this description. Let's get into it. Why this matters. Most people have wealth completely backwards. They think wealth looks like a new car, a big house, designer clothes, expensive restaurants. That's not wealth. That's the performance of wealth. Real wealth is invisible. Real wealth is quiet. Real wealth doesn't need an audience. And here's why this matters to you. If you're trying to build wealth, you're probably measuring yourself against the wrong people. You're comparing yourself to performers, not builders. The people actually building wealth, they look broke on purpose. Here are the 10 signs. Sign number 1, they drive old cars. This is the most obvious sign and the most ignored. Studies consistently show that millionaires drive used cars, not because they can't afford new ones, because they understand what a new car actually costs. A new car loses 20% of its value the moment you drive it off the lot. It costs you in insurance, in financing, in depreciation, every single month. A truly wealthy person looks at a new car and sees a liability, not a reward. So they drive the used Honda, the 5-year-old Toyota, the car that embarrasses their coworkers, and they take the difference and they invest it. The person in the parking lot with the nicest car is usually the one with the lowest net worth. The person in the beater might surprise you. Sign number 2, they never talk about money. Here's one that messes with people. The truly wealthy never talk about money. They don't mention their salary. They don't hint at their investments. They don't talk about what things cost. They're just quiet about it. Meanwhile, the people performing wealth, they tell you every number. The price of the vacation, the salary increase, the value of the house, the watch collection. Genuine wealth doesn't need validation. It doesn't need an audience. It doesn't need you to know. When someone is constantly talking about their money, that's insecurity. That's performance. Real wealth is silent. And silence, in this context, is deafening. Sign number 3, they always have time. This one surprises people. Truly wealthy people seem unhurried. They don't seem stressed about deadlines. They don't seem frantic about money. They have space, mental space, financial space. And here's why. They're not living paycheck to paycheck. They have an emergency fund. They have investments running automatically. They're not one bad month away from disaster. So they move through life differently. The person who seems constantly financially anxious is probably actually financially anxious. The person who seems calm about money might have more of it than you think. Financial peace is a tell, a massive one. Sign number 4, they never impulse buy. Watch how someone makes purchasing decisions. Wealthy people think before they buy. They wait, they compare, they ask if they really need it. They walk away and come back, or don't come back at all. People who are performing wealth, they buy immediately. They react emotionally. They justify afterward. They say yes to everything that looks good in the moment. Wealthy people have a system, a rule, a 48-hour wait, a "does this move me toward or away from my goals" filter. The speed of a purchase is often inversely proportional to the net worth of the person making it. Slow buyer, often quietly wealthy. Fast buyer, often quietly in debt. Sign number 5, they live below their means deliberately. Their apartment is smaller than they could afford. Their car is older than their salary suggests. Their vacations are modest. Their clothes are unremarkable. And this is not accidental. This is intentional. Wealthy people understand that the gap between what you earn and what you spend is where wealth lives. Every dollar their lifestyle doesn't consume is a dollar that compounds for years, for decades. The person in the modest apartment might be building $1 million portfolio. The person in the luxury apartment might have nothing behind the beautiful door. Living below your means isn't a sign of failure. It's a sign of strategy. And strategy, compounded over time, is how broke-looking people retire with millions.
Sign number 6. They ask weird questions about money. Here's a subtle one. Truly wealthy people ask different questions about money. Not how much does this cost, but what is the total cost of ownership? Not can I afford the monthly payment, but what does this cost me in opportunity cost? Not is this on sale, but do I actually need this? They think in decades, not days. They calculate compound interest in their head automatically. They see every $100 purchase as $400 in 20 years. They see every $500 unnecessary spend as $2,000 they won't have at retirement. This mental math, it happens automatically because they've been doing it for years. If someone makes you feel weird about your spending with a simple question, they might know something you don't. Sign number 7. They read constantly. Warren Buffett reads 6 hours a day. Bill Gates reads 50 books a year. Mark Cuban reads 3 hours a day. The wealthiest people in the world are obsessive readers. Not just business books, history, psychology, biography, science. They understand that knowledge is the highest return investment that exists. The person in your life who always has a book, who recommends articles, who talks about what they just learned, pay attention to that person. They're making an investment every single day in an asset that never depreciates. And unlike money, nobody can take it from them. Sign number 8. They don't react to market news. The market crashes. Everyone panics, except one person who shrugs, who keeps going, who says, I'm not looking at it. That person? Probably wealthy. Here's why. People with real wealth, built over decades wealth, have been through multiple market cycles. They've seen crashes and recoveries and crashes and recoveries. They know the pattern. They don't sell. They don't panic. They buy more, if anything. The person who panics about market news often has very little invested. The person who seems unbothered might have a lot invested and a lot of confidence in what time does to money. Sign number 9, they invest before they spend. Here's the most important behavioral sign. Wealthy people pay themselves first. The moment their paycheck arrives, a percentage goes directly to investments. Before rent, before groceries, before anything. Automatically. They don't invest what's left over because nothing is ever left over. They invest first, then live on the rest. The person performing wealth spends everything, then hopes to save what's left, which is nothing. The quietly wealthy person has already moved $500 to their brokerage account before they open their food delivery app. The order of operations is everything. Invest first, spend second. Wealth is built in that sequence, never the other way around. Sign number 10. They seem completely unbothered. This is the most telling sign of all. They don't care about the new phone, about the trendy restaurant, about what their neighbors just bought, about what anyone thinks. They are immune to social pressure around spending, immune to comparison, immune to the performance. And this is not because they're antisocial. It's because they have clarity. They know what they're building. They know where they're going.
and none of the noise around them changes the plan. The person who seems most unbothered by lifestyle is usually the most financially intentional. The piece you see on the outside is the security on the inside, built slowly, quietly, without you noticing. The real lesson. Here's what I need you to take from this. Wealth doesn't look like what Instagram told you it looks like. It doesn't look like the car, the watch, the vacation, the outfit. Those are props. Those are costumes. Wealth looks like a used car and a maxed out Roth IRA. Wealth looks like a packed lunch and a $400,000 brokerage account. Wealth looks like the person in the meeting who never mentions what they have, but they have more than anyone in the room. The people performing wealth are usually in debt, financing the performance, paying for it in interest, month after month. The people building wealth look broke on purpose. And in 20 years, when the compound interest has been running silently, they stop looking broke. They just look free. So which one are you? Are you performing wealth or building it? Because you can't do both at the same time. Every dollar that goes to the performance is a dollar not going to the build. And those dollars compound in both directions. The performance compounds into debt. The build compounds into freedom. Right now, today, you are choosing which one you're building with every purchase, every month, every year. The good news? You can change it right now, today, not by earning more, by spending differently, by becoming the person who drives the used car, who packs the lunch, who invests before they spend, who stops performing and starts building. Because in 20 years, the performers and the builders swap places. The performers look stressed, the builders look free, and the only people who knew the whole time were the ones who looked broke on purpose. Share this with someone who needs to hear it. Someone performing when they should be building. And subscribe, because every week I'm here breaking down exactly how wealth is actually built, not how it's performed. I'll see you in the next one.